And our first lap going to be underway here as our master A is going off for who knows how long. Early on in this race, we don't know how many laps it's going to go for, but a couple of riders are going to take a risk here. And we see, it looks to be Stephen Blyfoos moving off the front for Katina Fresca in that red jersey. I think that might be Annette Williams and Ted Scott following right behind. So a couple of Master A's say, hey, let's get going early. One lap down. Not surprising, no bell yet. But the idea here is maybe if we take a risk, get off the front early, maybe this race will be short. Or even better yet, maybe we can kind of fragment this group a little bit, cause a little wasted effort. And before you know it, the finish will be a little bit easier for us. So Annette Williams now moves to the front. Ted Scott is the rider now on the front of the very group. He's in turn 4. A group of 4 chasing down, but not having to put in a lot of effort to bring them back at the moment. They're just cruising along. 2 laps down. David Matthews of Bikesale.com looks like he's going to be the first rider to catch up to the leaders. So the rider in yellow and black going to make his way up and going to reattach himself. That's going to sort of add a little energy to the pack now. They say, all right, well, they've caught back on. Maybe we can too. Looks like Bilko going to be the first one to get there as he's going to bring the pack up together. And everyone all in a group, seeing 3 laps down. Ted Scott at the front still. So a little bit of spent energy, but not a lot, just enough to kind of get the overall tempo increased. Pretty conservative pace set early in the race, but I'll let you know that this is going to set up a pretty fast finish in this field. Lots of fast competitors here tonight. We got a good-sized group, and if they're not riding too fast early, it does mean that there's going to be a lot of energy left at the end of the race. And of course, right now, it looks like everybody's all riding together. Bilko going to try and do a quick change in the tire on the infield. He's still part of this race. He's got a couple laps to fix it up. In the meantime, the race continues, but nothing really happening in terms of the order of the riders here. We just got a little bit of a mix-up at the front. Riders taking a chance at the front of the group, rotating out, but nobody taking any moves. Everybody happy just to keep it all together. It's difficult to make a move here because you don't know how long the race is. It's hard to make a calculated risk. It's really just a straight-up gamble. 6 laps completed so far. It's Ludo Max at the front in the black jersey. Again, just rotating out riders at the front because that's where the most effort is. And we see him do this quite often. It's going to be Joe Holmes that when he gets to the front of this lineup, he actually picks the pace up even faster. Whether that's to create a breakaway or just to create more pressure, it's not really important. He just wants to increase that work of the rest of the group, and now he pulls up and out of the way and says, okay, well, I didn't get off the front, but now everybody's moving a little bit faster. 7 laps down, no bell yet. The pace is very unsettled here. Each time someone new gets to the front, we see somebody else try to apply a little pressure, then somebody else wants to rest it back up again. Blyfoos, not happy with the slower pace, the rider in red and black. He's going to pick things up again. And our pack is certainly under duress here, constantly having to respond to new pace, new riders. Looks like Bilko is going to be able to get back in here after a little bit of a technical fix, so we'll have one rider jumping back in the group. But right here, the pack actually sits up for a second, kind of taking their moment to rest. But again, it's Joe Holmes who constantly does this. He's kind of the tempo setter out here on a Wednesday night. Holmes going to push the pace again. Single malt velo in the purple excuse me, the pink and the blue and the black there being represented by Holmes, who pulls up and out of the way. Really not allowing riders to relax and rest up. It can be a very good strategy if the play is to be going for the endurance ride. Some riders would rather just go for the sprint at the very end. Still no bell, and 10 laps down, it's Kenny Williams at the front. The pack still staying relatively connected here. Single file formation for a good portion of our race means that the pace is high enough that riders are trying to hide behind each other. But without anybody making an attack off the front, it's still everyone all together here in the backstretch. Broadmark Capital in the white, blue, and yellow. Going to send out a rider. Ted Scott on the move. Sees 11 laps down. Still no bell. With 11 laps down, we've gone for quite some time. This is going to turn into a pretty long distance scratch race as we're going to be going for the long haul. But at some point, riders like Ted Scott are trying to take a gamble. They're thinking, all right, at some point this race is going to be wrapped up. Maybe if I go now, the next time I come around, that bell will sound and I'm going to be in a good position. It's a gamble, but it's in a good position right now. He's still got a good lead on the rest of the pack. Ted Scott off the front, 12 laps down. No sound of the bell yet. Blyfoos chasing down with the main pack. Everybody's still in single file. Looking for a place to hide. The pace has been pretty consistent for these Master A's in their first race tonight. Everybody ready to go. Ted Scott's gamble doesn't quite pay off as much as he'd hoped for, and it looks like Stephen Blyfoos in the red and black is going to be getting up to him pretty fast. But if they look over their shoulder now, they're actually going to see not many riders are chasing them down. Now we have a little bit of a move. There's the bell. Ted Scott, he's grimacing from all that effort. He's in a bad spot now, but he's going to try and recover as Max in the black jersey is going to be right where he wants to be at the right time. The gamble pays off for the chase group. Kenny Williams trying to advance up to the front. Sam Park in the black and the red also in a great position, trying to make it up to the front three riders. It's going to be Kenny Williams coming through turn 4. Ludo Max on the front, Kenny Williams. And, I think Ludo will hold off the charge for third. He's going to keep his second place finish as Kenny Williams times the sprint pretty well there.